All right. Just one thing about Massachusetts. I think another particular opportunity that Massachusetts has would be to show what change looks like on the ground. In other words, to be a showcase for what these changes that are being achieved at a national level actually mean in people's lives and how that works. So I just want to put that out there. In terms of campaigning, I have 4 quick things. First, the first is the campaign, I think, was successful to the extent that it took leadership seriously. Not just at the top, however, but distributed throughout the campaign. And it took organizing seriously. Not as something that everybody just kind of knows how to do, but as a craft, as a skill, as a practice that requires training, learning, development, growth, and conscious application. The investment in training made in this campaign I've never seen in any campaign. And what that expressed was a valuing of people's time, energy, and effort. That it was important enough and it mattered enough to equip people with the tools they need to be as effective as they can possibly be. The craft of leadership and organizing seriously and providing the training to support that all the way down was one. Second, it was an arena in which people could come together around shared values. It wasn't a coalition based on the negotiation of issues. It went deeper. It went to questions of equality, of hope, of community, and I watched people freed from their issue silos with an opportunity to work together, broad enough, diverse enough, and powerful enough to actually achieve significant power. So that's number 2. Number 3, the rootedness in values was coupled with very clear strategic objectives. In other words, there was a clear goal that people were working toward, and those goals could break down by state and by locality so that one could see where one's piece fit into the whole picture and contributed to the whole effort. And finally, a structure was created that struck the balance between strategic focus and local engagement and creativity. The team-based structure in much of the country was one of the things that anchored local leadership with the room to develop and be creative and own outcomes with a national purpose. And I think that successful movements figure out how to strike that balance. There's no one way. I think it depends on time and circumstance, but I think the balance was struck in the campaign, and I think one of the challenges before us now is to figure out what that balance needs to be now.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Okay, so my name is Juan again, and I'm going to talk about the special moment of the election first, and also, and then sort of about the lessons that we learned as an organization in these elections. In first place, I've been only a citizen for the past 10 years, so that's why we represent the new accent of Boston, I guess. Put that out there because we need to sort of like take that into consideration as we move forward with this OFA-MA support. It was fascinating to me to be in a place where for the first time we all felt excited about what was going on election day. And I think I've been here for 20 years, and that was the first time that I saw that in those 20 years. Maybe it happened 50 years ago, 70 years ago, 100 years ago, but it was the first time for us during this time that this was possible. So that was very special. The other thing that I wanted to say, how important it was for people of color and also immigrant and low income. And I wanted to put this out there because I think the general tendency is to think about like, outside Massachusetts, sort of leave out some of the public housing places. And it seems to me that this really brought home the importance of taking into consideration how people of color, for them and for us, for immigrants, how this really mattered. And it was really a motivating factor to go and vote that day. So that was very exciting. I went myself to vote like around, first thing in the morning to be able to work on the polls, afterwards in Salem, and it was a long line already at that time, like before, I mean, it was 6:30 in the morning. So that was, and all of the line members were people of color. So that was very exciting to see that. In terms of the lessons, I think what we need to talk about, in my view, are the challenges. And a few things have been said here this morning, and the challenges, they come around the here and now. Again, I like to say that the saying that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, and we need to look back into Massachusetts. One of the issues that I saw, and it was said here, that everybody sort of felt confident that Massachusetts being a like quote unquote progressive state, you know, things would be easier. But also, I think we have several other local elections going on at the same time that we cannot miss track of. That we miss opportunities, sort of like to increase, sort of like, or to gain more progressive seats in the state. And I think we should sort of figure out how to do these things at the same time. And one of the things that I'm thinking more and more is like, one of the biggest challenges that we have as we move forward is like how to keep this work in these three levels, at the local level, the state level, and federal level. And the general tendency is to sort of look at the federal level, and I think the challenge for us that we shouldn't keep track of these three sides. The other piece that I think is a challenge for us in moving forward, that this should be also a movement of people of colors and immigrants. And I'm saying this because I think it should be a #1 priority for us. The other lessons, it seems to me that it's important to point out is the use of technology, how important it became, and also the importance of youth involved in this process, and how we should sort of like keep working with them and have them to be also like at the forefront of these conversations every time. I think also we shouldn't have technology to become sort of like to overshadow the importance of the one-on-one conversation, door-to-door, sort of the classic organizing that we all have done for many years. That should be always there. But also, I wanted to sort of leave this with like this other challenge that is important for us in terms of like moving forward. There are going to be important local elections this year, and we should find out how to connect to those and how to help out. Because at the end of the day, when we think about like the Obama administration, it has a very important, very kind of good vision about how this country should move forward. But most of that is going to come down to who is on the ground, who is controlling the local cities and towns. And if we don't pay attention to that, we're going to find ourselves frustrated again. Because I think we see, and we're going to see that the Obama administration is moving forward all these sort of like stimulus packages and all those things, but we have to sort of figure out how we influence that the best way at the local cities and towns. So, and the other piece that we should keep organizing. I think that what happened during this election, that for the first time, I guess, organizing became sort of like nationwide sort of like work that everybody talked about in a good and a bad way. But I think now for the first time I feel that we're acknowledged for that activity. So we should keep doing that.